It was all love. People were calling me from the top of the totem pole down to the trenches, just showing mad love and just like, yo, if you need anything, we got you. Any references, any type of thing, we got you, because we know that, there's something in you that this world needs, and we just got your support. It was a minor setback in that moment, just a brief setback, but now it's just like, man, I got an opportunity to breathe. I got an opportunity to finish my dissertation. I got an opportunity to really study and see what I could do to better myself. I'm a selfless person. Like my whole life has always been about service. I've learned the key to service. That's truly one of the keys in any industry, any business. It's just to serve. Like, we all have individual gifts, and we're made to be here in this time to serve our gifting. And that's just a component and a mystery that a lot of people do not understand. If we just show up to the occasion and have the mentality to serve first, man, the sky is the limit. So right now I'm just at that point where it's like, where's the next area I'm going to serve? But I have to be selfish now, like I have to start thinking about, just being again. Like being a human being rather than a human doing. You know what I mean? Like these last couple times, last couple years, it's like when I was in Coatesville, I saw the vision and I seen the values that, where we were headed in. And it's just like, okay, cool, I can still be in this. But then as time went on, it's like I began to be like a human doing, and it wasn't really authentic to me. So things started to shift. My enthusiasm started to shift the more that I started to see different things happening in the city, where it became less about service and more so about maintaining the status quo. And it's not necessarily against current administration, because I love every single one of them, and it's vice versa. But at the same time, if you don't really have an effort to serve people and, just build with people, despite what their socioeconomic advantage or disadvantage is, it's just like, you got to really start questioning those things, So I digress, man. It's just a season right now.
Just ran through like 3 of my questions.
Where it's just growth. But sock it to me, man.
Gave you your free time.
Yeah.
And we're gonna do something with it.
Yeah.
Because being up there is like being tied down anyway, man. Like, it's a whole lot to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
That was my next question. How you feel about council? Being on council?
No, man, I would rather take a break from it all. Like, I get it, and I've worked with it. I see how it functions. I don't think that it's my position right now to be in council. It's a good idea. But honestly, bro, I don't know. I kind of feel like at this point in this season of my life, I'm kind of
feel like I can do more not being there.
Yeah.
I feel like if I was on there, just like scrutiny would be through the roof.
Yeah.
Everything would be my fault.
Oh yeah, that's how it goes, bro. Like, that's literally.
But when it's me, oh, that'll be 10 times.
Yeah, you're just under a microscope, bro. And any type of legislation, any type of action, you're gonna get things from people that they're not even knowledgeable about how government functions. They don't know anything about policy formation. They don't know anything about implementing certain ordinances, resolutions, or spending enough time to get a profound understanding about how to govern this community, this unique small community that has so many different personalities, so many different views on how Coatesville should be steered. And yeah, I just feel like it's one of those things that you just got to be careful. Like, you got to be careful, and just always, again, just have vision and values. Like, if you have a vision, stick to that vision. Like, if you have a vision in council, be willing to work with the 6 other people that's going to be with you. And it's not always about being buddy. It's just sticking to that vision and value. And I wholeheartedly think that, that's one of the things that got me, terminated. One of the things that I was tasked to do was create a public relations strategy. And for those who don't really know me, I'm just a few months away from getting my doctorate. So I have a level of understanding when it comes to public administration, public relations, public affairs. So within my studies in academia, I've learned that, even in the Bible, it says where there's no vision, the people perish. So I'm thinking like, okay, where is the vision? Where's the shared vision that we have here in Coatesville? Who's communicating that thing, and how well are we doing that? So, I will go back to our city manager. I'll go back to them and just like say, hey, like I'm writing down in my notes, like we need to start thinking about our vision and values. And it's just like, well, we have that. You should already know what that is. And it's just like, yeah, I understand. Like we have that whole reimagine Coatesville thing, but that's like outdated now. That's kind of
5 years old.
Yeah, like that's five years ago. We need to update that thing. And not everybody was on the same accord with that in the first place. That was before I got on. But at the same time, it's just like, yeah, it's good that we do need to reimagine Coatesville. But what's next? Like, what's the vision and values once, the train station is done, once the velodrome project is complete, once, all these different things start falling into place, we're going to start seeing downtown shift into like the Phoenixvilles. You got more businesses coming in downtown. That's like, okay, we see the economic development and some type of momentum growing in Coatesville. How are we going to push that thing forward and just take it to the next level? And I really feel like it really starts at communicating that vision and value. And then from there, what was the second part that I went on? Because it's been some time since I looked at it. Oh, it was a municipal roundtable. Once we get our vision and values straight, and I mentioned this in my live, once we communicate our vision and values, it's just like, how can we communicate that to the public? But by going into our neighborhood, guerrilla marketing, like just getting down to the grassroots and like walking your streets as a council member, as a public official, and just meeting your neighborhood, meeting your wards. People don't even know Coatesville split up into 5 different wards.
Who that councilman is.
They don't even know who they are. But so how do you fix that thing? It's by actually being out there, being open, being present, being visible to the people, and welcoming them to the council meetings. And sometimes council meetings are too formal for people, right? They don't understand the lingo, they don't understand the jargon, the Robert's Rule of Order. They don't understand that process. So when people don't understand certain things, they don't trust it. So like public trust here is kind of wavering on that tip. Excuse me. Public trust is wavering on that tip because a lot of people don't know how things function. They don't show up to the occasion to actually know what was being passed, and then all of a sudden when you're getting violated, or you violated a certain code or a certain, you get ticketed for something that you had no idea about, that becomes like an issue for you. You go down, you're complaining XYZ, but all along, your voice mattered in that process. So what would be an informal way to communicate that vision and values, but by having a municipal roundtable? And like, to me, I called it Meet Me Midway. And that's a play on words because Coatesville was like, that's our nickname, like Midway between Lancaster and Philadelphia. But to meet the community halfway, midway, and just informally talk with them and just discuss what their concerns are, like, so that they can feel heard, so that they can be heard, so that we can actually figure and pinpoint what areas we really need to start developing within our youth. Violence has been taking up something serious, like with the stabbings, the shootings, like shootouts up on Cambria. Like, it's a lot of different things, and a lot of people are like, almost like Kendrick said, like dying of thirst. Like we're dying to really get into these spaces and figure out like a solution to it all. And then like third, it was just demystifying local government. Like I feel like we need to understand city operations to really be homeowners, to really strengthen our ability to actually understand the processes that goes on. And that's whether you're in the public or you're a public official. Like there's certain people that don't know what's going on. They're not really well studied on it. They just want to sit in certain positions. They just want to be in certain places to just say, hey, like I was here, like look at me, I'm councilman this, that, and the third. Like it's a power front, you know, and it's not really authentic, and the people we could sniff that out easily, you know.
I think that's a lot of the problem around here. Is not that necessarily we don't have this, we don't have that. Y'all not telling us what we got coming. Y'all not telling us why we don't have these things. Like nobody understands why Oak Street was knocked down.
Right.
They never told nobody in detail why that happened.
Right.
Or why the pool had to close. All we keep hearing is
speculation.
Yeah. All we keep hearing is speculation. Like nobody from the city actually came out and told us nothing.
Yeah.
And that's what it continues to be, why the community center ain't open. I know the elevator shaft about to fall off, but how many people know that? Like we don't get the information that you were giving us. That's why everybody was so mad that they got rid of that position.
Yeah.
And that guy. Like because we don't know nothing. Somebody was telling us something and y'all getting rid of him. Like that ain't what y'all wanted. Y'all don't want us to know nothing. Like it's now y'all just keep taking steps backward with the community and the people that actually do care, and the ones that don't care, their complaints are valid.
Yeah.
I would complain too if I didn't know nothing.
Right.
Lack of knowledge.
That's it. Like it's and people will always complain to me too, bro. Like as soon as they knew that I worked in the city, you know, it was a sense of respect because it's like, oh, Miles, you know. Like, we respect you for that, for your namesake, but at the same time, like, you're in the city, so, like, it's like you're an op now. But it's just like, but, you know, as soon as I open my mouth and just start being authentically me in that position, it was like, hold on, wait a minute, like, there's somebody that we can trust here. And I'm giving them the facts, like, okay, you're going through this, let's say, for instance, it's your fence, right? Somebody, codes come to you and it's like, yo, your fence is too high. It's just like, all right, like how can we fix this without you getting violated? Like without you spending thousands of dollars to get this thing up. And then now it's like you gotta, you know, change things around. How do you like what's the solution to this thing? You know, like little things like that, like just issues with police, like issues with everything, like oh my parking, like handicapped parking. It's like a lot of calls that I would get from a lot of different people. Where it was just like cursing me out, and it's just like, hold on, like just being humble, just again being authentic and genuine, just letting them know like, okay, you're heard, and here's what we're going to do about it. And I'll definitely say like at least 85% to 90% of the people that I talked to actually got what they need, you know, like otherwise it was beyond me to take care of, you know what I mean? But yeah, it's just being personable, man, and just going low to pick people up, to lift them up. And once you find the areas to step up, it's easier to lift people up. And that was the whole thing that I was on. Like, yeah, there were certain things, like, to keep it a buck, like, you know, whether it was punctuality, like, you know, whether it was certain things that would slip my memory because I'm out in the field, like, I'm out actually continuing to work on different policies and stuff like that, continuing research. Being in school, it was just like so many, I was stretched thin. And by the time that, you know, I really got to see, you know, my impact, I was already gone, you know, and it had to take me to be going to like reflect and think back like, man, there was really truly an impact that was made here through my time. So like I could do nothing but thank God for the experience and, you know, all the beautiful, intelligent, like just vibrant people that I met along the way. And my ambition always, bro, was just to change the world. And one of the things that along that way is just like it starts at home. You know, and that's where we at. We're in my backyard. If my home's not in shape, like how can I make a difference in this world? You feel me? Even in my community, it starts here. And then it just ripples out. And that's the vision that I had. It's just like, here, if I can make the impact, I can go anywhere in this world and do that, man. So, yeah, that was pretty much that in a nutshell. Like, it is bittersweet, but at the same time, like, I'm hopeful And I'm praying for Coatesville. I'm praying for our leaders, like that the right people do get into seats and are motivated to step up and really stand up for something.
I don't know anybody here that educated, that dedicated.
Hmm.
Like that part right there, like ain't nobody really dedicated to the city like this.
Yeah,
Like, like there's a lot of people who be sitting by watching and letting stuff happen and don't care.
yeah,
As long as their house is cool. They don't care what's going on with nobody else's.
yeah.
Like that's a rare trait to have. And I don't think we gonna find nobody.
Listen, if I could just live by example, man, like that's what I leave. Like that's what I wanted to leave here. You know, and that's what I was working on within that strategy. It's like, what paper trail, what succession plan can I leave for the next person to say, here's the blueprint? Because if I was the first ever to serve in this position, how would I want the next person to serve after me? And I wrote that all down in my memoir that I kept throughout the years that I was there, writing all the different things, how I felt, you know, feeling like towards the end of my time there, it was just like I wasn't really being invited, like I wasn't really being utilized within my challenge. Like what changed there, you know? Um, and you can't necessarily pin like performance on that, you know, because like it's the evidence is there from the people, you know, like they've seen the work and the effort that I put on and off the clock. But I just want the next person, the next people, and it's like I should be that like testimony to say like, all right, here's the work that we need to put our hands to. Here's the educational pieces that we need to really focus on to drive Coatesville in the right direction. And it's not a one-man band, you know. It's working with people that, you know, are non-traditional, you know, like whether they're in the streets, whether they're, you know, you name it, like any industry, like we got to start working with like unfamiliar territory, like being comfortable in uncomfortable spaces with different people, and just being authentically you in those spaces and just watch things begin to flourish and grow and nurture.